In recent decades, a range of climatic changes have been observed across Malawi. These include a reduction in average annual precipitation, and an increase in average annual temperatures, delays in the onset of the rainfall season, a decrease in the length of rainfall season, and a longer dry season. While the direct impacts of extreme climate events are well documented, other negative effects are more challenging to quantify. These climate change impacts are particularly severe in Lake Chilwa Basin and its catchment districts of Zomba, Palombe, and Machinga. Vulnerability to climate change impacts in Malawi, and particularly in the Lake Chilwa Basin, is driven by poverty, food and nutritional insecurity, over-dependence on natural resources, and high exposure to climate hazards and risks, among others. In order to address some of these challenges, a consortium of churches Action in Relief and Development (CAD), Civil Society Network on Climate Change (CISONEC), the Center for International Forestry Research, and the World Agroforestry and Trokenya, with funding from Jesse Overseas Aid (JOA), are implementing the community-led planning and management for biodiversity protection and resilient communities in the catchment areas of Lake Chilwa. During the monitoring visit of this 4 years and 6 months project, which is in its third year, it was observed that there's been a tremendous progress on how communities have built climatic change resilience. Mai Irene Justin, who lives in the Chiputula 2 village, Group Village Headman Malukula, in the area of Traditional Authority Mambo in Zomba, is now able to draw potable water from a nearby borehole which was constructed by the project. She says, apart from rehabilitating and sustainably managing their area, access to potable water was indeed a challenge, and she is thankful to JOA Sciaf Lake Chilwa Basin project.
Panopa kubwera kwa jigo umene uli kupeza tendero kukhawukha kuchepa kwa matenda kwachepa anthu akuchepa kusegula kwa mimba, ndipo ife tanyadira kupezeka kuti kubwera pa jigo umene.
Mrs. Alinafe Shimwala is one of the committee members managing the borehole here in Chiputula 2 village. She says the whole community ensures highest levels of hygiene and sanitation of the borehole area are adhered to.
Ife tikuchionera muchifukwa chokuti chimwemwe chathu chifukwa chosaukira madzi tunda utali. Chifukwa ndaona kuti usinkhu wanga osewu nangu bado andi kukula jigo kuno sinafike. Ndipo ine ndili wachimwemwe kwambiri pa chifukwa choti nakuti jigo utafika oloana sizingatheke kuti apangapange poza uve. Jigo athu silifuna kukhala uve chifukwa choti nakuti sichisime kuti mwana akapisapo ndikapo kapena gwesa yako chonyasa undi jigo ndipo fiti ndi chimwemwe kwambiri.
In her remarks, Agatha Kaira, a project coordinator for JOA Sciaf Lake Chilwa Basin project, says it is pleasing to observe that members of communities under the project implementation area are able to access clean and potable water. This, she says, has greatly reduced waterborne diseases among the people in the area.
So before implementing this project, we had to do a market assessment to check whether these people have equitable water, also to check their poverty levels. So we didn't want to lessen their poverty levels only, but we also wanted to make sure that they have access to clean water.
The program officer of Scottish Catholic International Aid Fund says he is impressed with little but steady changes the project is registering in the area. He observes that when people have no access to potable water nearby, they neglect the need to participate in the development works in their areas.
This project's all about, helping people to have better sustainable livelihoods by supporting them to look after the environment. So by looking after the land, looking after the soil, looking after the trees, they'll be able to produce food sustainably. But water is also a very important part of this, and a borehole is absolutely vital in terms of health for clean drinking water. And we understand from the community that they've had to walk quite a long distance previously to get water from streams. And waterborne diseases can flourish in those kind of environments. So this is one of 8 boreholes within the project, which will hopefully make a difference to the health of children and women and men living here.
Another area where Sciaf Lake Chilwa Basin project is implementing its intervention is with communities under Group Village Headman Ndumba and Namasalima in Traditional Authority Kuntumanje in Izomba district. Here, communities under Ndumba Village Natural Resources Committee have committed themselves to reforestation efforts along the Domasi River bank. On this material day, the committee took advantage of visiting team to plant trees at Namitoso Forest. In a pure demonstration of gender equality, the Namitoso Forest Committee elected a female chair, Esinati Afiki. Mrs. Afiki says apart from environmental conservation, which the group has diversified its livelihood activities through goat farming and beekeeping enterprises, they have registered considerable gains in Namitoso Forest, which has regenerated and the Domasi River bank rehabilitated.
Tunamba kupanga manaza ale kumafisa mbewu. Mbewu zidya kumazitenga kumazibesa kunoko kunkalango. Ndimene mukuonera musinjewu. Pakalepo munali moti somba zimakalamu. Komasa pakati pa kuzamfezesa kwa antu kulima paka na musinje. Basi sinje unatani unauma. Koba mene tukuyamba ifeyo kupanga dongoso ndikwaitana misongano kumafutukozera zomwe azilangiza amatiuza akuta kubvesesa pang'ono chaka chino mazi sana vute kwambiri chifukwa kuti mitengo tikumazala paka na mpepetire mwasinjemu cholinga choti nthaka isatani isakokoloke kukokoloka kwa sinje mchenga umachuluka ndi mmene nyanja yathu kuku inatani inaphwera kamba kochuluka mchenga.
Trochea's Resilience and Livelihoods lead, Loles Muntali, says he is impressed with the fruits of interventions the project is making. Muntali says he is particularly happy to see all elements of mindset change from a transformed community.
The Lake Chilwa is one of the key areas whereby it's supporting a lot of livelihoods. About 1.5 million people who live in the Lake Chilwa Basin. It's supplying rice and a lot of other livelihood options for the people living in the Lake Chilwa Basin. So in the travels that we're doing now today, we are traveling with Sciaf. We're doing a monitoring visit, looking at the different interventions of the project. What we have found is that there is tremendous progress in terms of the natural resource conservation, in terms of the alternative livelihoods which we're promoting. We're encouraged by the work which CAD, SESONEC and the ICRAF are doing on the ground, and we're making strides. There are some gains which we have made, but also there are opportunities which have been missed, and we will work with government to see how we can strengthen our work along the Lake Chilwa Basin.
Mr. Dagson Chauruka of Nazombe village in the area of Group Village Headman Namasalima under Traditional Authority Kuntumanje in Zomba says he was motivated to embark on permaculture as a solution to the small land holding challenges when he participated in a training program at Permaculture Paradise Institute in Njinji. He says in permaculture, one can have a small piece of land but be able to harvest enough to feed the whole family and sell the surplus. Chauluka advised members of community who came to watch his demonstration plot that they should plan for the smallest possible land area and use energy-efficient intensive systems rather than have a large area with energy-consuming systems.
Peremakacha ulimi wakasakaniza ukupezeka kwa peremakacha pamene baba kubwera alimi usiyana-siyana amene akuchokera mizi komanso alendo akamabwere nawo amabwera so ndiyena pamene pakukopera china chilichonse chimene ndachita malo amenewa chimene mwachiona akusangalasidwa nacho kwambiri kuti ena ali ndi chidwi chokachita makomo mwawo chifukwa choti malowa ineyo andifikapo chifukwa choti pamene ndimaononga ndalama yogulira masamba chani nyemba ndi zina apapa ndikungogula mchere ndi mafuta basi china chilichonse ndikuchipeza magarden ya peremakacha
vadzala m'madera osiyana-siyana m'minda mwawo.
Mr. Chamuka Dixon Tebulo is a research associate and a socio-economist working with International Center for Research in Agroforestry, ICRAF. Tebulo has held community members who are implementing various interventions under Sciaf Lake Chilwa Basin project for showing determination to ending challenges being caused by effects of extreme weather patterns in the whole basin.
I'm really happy to showcase even the forest that we are able to see, the plantation of the trees. Those trees, they are raised by the farmers themselves. And it was just a sample. Farmers have planted trees in different areas along the riverbanks to control the siltation of the rivers as well as the Lake Chilwa Basin. And as we have witnessed, we have seen even the interventions that improve the livelihood of the rural community, like the beekeeping and even here the permaculture, where we have even integrated with the different tree species.
The program manager at Churches Action in Relief and Development CAD, Arthur Lichenya, says the monitoring visit has been fulfilling in that it has showcased the commitment of implementers as well as those that are participating beneficiaries. Lichenya also observes that there is sustainability of project interventions the consortium is implementing in the Lake Chilwa Basin.
Development is a process, and you achieve the results gradually. So we came here to appreciate the progress that this project is registering in the lives of the people. So it's a project that empowers the communities around the Lake Chilwa Basin to be able to sustainably manage the ecosystem in the basin, and at the same time benefit from the ecosystem itself. So we came with our partners, Sciaf, Troca, we are also Sisonec and the ICRAF. And as I mentioned, I think it's just for us to appreciate the progress. So from what we have seen so far, there is very, very good progress that is coming out from the project. This is just a third year. We're just entering the third year of the project. And the project lifespan is 4 years. So this is the third year project, the third year that we have just started. But we are already seeing the fruits from the project. The objective is, as I've mentioned, is to empower the community to rehabilitate the ecosystem of the Lake Chilwa Basin, but at the same benefit from it. So we have seen now how communities that are participating in this project have done so far in terms of rehabilitation. They have planted quite significant number of trees that they are also taking care of. And apart from planting more trees, they are also able to even ensuring that the existing trees also well taken care of, and that is helping to restore or rehabilitate the environment. But there are also interventions that also improve their livelihoods. We have communities that are doing beekeeping, and most of them have already started benefiting from the honey value chain. They are able to harvest honey and generate income out of that, and that is also giving them an incentive for them to continue managing the forests and the environment, because they know that the environment can also be an important livelihood for them. So I think they are now being in the forefront to manage that. But we also have other communities that have also benefited from goat person program, which came in as also one way of creating some kind of incentive for them. So that goat person is also progressing very well. Each household is receiving 5 goats, and then they pass on the 5 goats to the second cohort of participants. So that is also doing very fine. We also have particularly women that are in village savings and loan groups that are also benefiting quite substantially. Some of the groups also received a grant amounting to 2.4 million per group, which has helped them to diversify in different enterprises with the aim of generating income to support their households. But we also have other groups, we call them village beach committees, that are also doing a very, very good job in terms of doing rehabilitation around the Lake Chilwa. We also provided some grants to them. They came up with their plans in terms of what they would want to do to help in rehabilitating and managing the Lake Chilwa. So they came with their plan, and they are currently implementing those plans. So there's a lot that has happened, and as an organization, I think we are impressed with what we have seen, and it's one of the projects that we will do even before the 4 years elapse. That I think we are impressed and happy with what the project has achieved so far.
Program Manager for Scottish Catholic International Aid Fund, Robert Angove, says the visit has been worthwhile because the narrative reports they used to get are matching to what is happening on the ground. He says the stories of rehabilitation of riverbanks, reforestation drive, permaculture initiatives are such heartwarming to see and to hear.
It's been really a great eye-opener being here today. We've seen so much that's been done by the communities, and with a real sense of voluntarism. That's what's really struck me, is the effort that people put in together to make a difference to their communities and to their households, and to participate, to own the process. So it's been a real fantastic eye-opener. We came here now to see the lead farmer, Davison. His farm is just like a fantastic example of what you can do in a way that protects the environment, because he's using organic fertilizer that he's made himself, reduce the costs of your inputs, and also at the same time protect the crops and get a great result. It's exactly what we were hoping we could support. So, coming here and be able to go back to Scotland and explain to our supporters, and also to the donor, Jersey Overseas Aid, who's been helping with this project, they'll be delighted. Everyone will be delighted. We're doing exactly what we want to do. So seeing that cooperation is always so important. You can't achieve things in isolation, and that's what's really struck me being here, meeting the communities, is how you all work together, how they all work together. And they also have such a great sense of achievement amongst themselves, and a great sense of joy as well. Everyone seems extremely happy and impressed with what they've done. So, we're really hoping now that this hard work will really bear fruit, that people will now see more food to eat, more food on the table when they need it, but also more money in their pocket. If they're able to sell some of the produce, the honey we've seen, the surplus of pumpkins and maize and other fruits that we can see in the garden here today, and so on, hopefully that will make a difference. So when things are lean, it'll help them get through it more easily. They won't have to struggle so much, and that they'll be able to use that as a basis on which to move forward with. So on to even better things. So the first community we visited today were talking about their aspirations for the future beyond the project, And that's really fantastic to hear. You know, they were talking about a rice mill so that they could process their rice, add value to the whole production which they're doing and the whole crops that they're making. And that's the kind of next step. So I hope we're able to support communities with that process as well. Time will tell. But at the same time, they already know what they want. So it's now helping them achieve that, thinking how to go forward, how to continue to make that difference in their lives, how to create more opportunity for themselves and improve their quality of life.
He hails efforts being done by a consortium working in Lake Chilwa Basin under Sciaf in the areas of financial literacy, natural resource conservation, agroecology, catchment restoration, advocacy, and capture fisheries monitoring.
You know, we can't do the work without them because they're part of the community. They're not just coming in to, you know, tell people what to do. They're here to work with people and accompany them. And that's really our ethos. You know, Sciaf is part of the Catholic Church, and that whole care for our common home is fundamental to all the work that we do. And we share that with the local partners here and the local organisations. So we couldn't do that work without them. They are vital, and their relationships are absolutely key. Without those good relationships that they build with the communities and with the participants, none of this work would happen. So all these things are not easy. It's absolutely true. You know, at times there will be challenges, but we cooperate and work to overcome them together. We keep the communities and the participants in the project. That's who we really care about, and that's who we really want to support. And we want to support them to stand on their own 2 feet and to go forward into a brighter future. So I think what I've seen today gives me really good hope that that's what we're doing.
Lake Chilwa is the second largest lake in Malawi and functions as a shallow inland drainage basin. In 1997, the wetlands of Lake Chilwa Biosphere Reserves were designated a Ramsar site due to their global significance as a major waterfowl habitat.